gonna be apartment. Hey! Show me your hands! Hey! Shoot! Get down! Get down! Get on the ground!
These are the moments when cops stopped murders just in time, starting with a dangerous suspect who nearly stabbed a woman to death. On July 29th, 2023, officers with the Elizabeth Police Department were dispatched to a domestic disturbance involving a dispute and an unwanted person inside a multifamily residence. The caller reported that the man was dangerous, armed, and not supposed to be there at all. Officers arrived just 5 minutes later and entered the home to assess the situation. But they had no idea they were about to walk into a complete nightmare.
That came from in there. Please! Hey! Hey, yo! Yo! Hey, wait till! Hey, wait, no, hey, wait till!
As the suspect nearly stabbed a woman, the officer discharged his weapon, saving her life in that split second. The suspect, later identified as 42-year-old Esteban Alegraya Hurtado, was intoxicated and involved in a dispute with the female resident, who was his brother's wife. Officers immediately secured the knife and began life-saving efforts. Hurtado was transported to the hospital in critical condition, but later succumbed to his injuries. No criminal charges were filed against the officers. Next up, you will see an even deadlier incident where a husband almost took his wife's life and ended up facing the cops in that moment.
Get down! Get down! Get on the ground!
On February 3rd, 2024, just after midday, dispatch received a harrowing 911 call. A terrified child had run to a nearby neighbor, begging for help, saying her father was trying to hurt her mother during a violent argument. The neighbor called 911 immediately. What made the situation even more disturbing was that 5 other children were still inside the home, forced to witness the horror unfold around them. But before we get into the case, let's listen to the 911 call first.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
I have a little girl over here saying that her mother is getting stabbed by her dad.
Okay, where? Hang on, where are you? What, hang on, what's the address? Because I can't understand you, so take a deep breath. Okay, right. Okay, so who's telling you that somebody's being stabbed?
My little girl is right here in front of me. She said her mom and her daddy's stabbing her mom.
Hang on. Where does the little girl come from?
What apartment are you in? Are you the one in front? Yeah, this one right here? She said our apartment. I know the lady. She's got a bunch of kids.
Okay. Okay, what's the mom's name?
The situation was extremely serious and terrifying, something that demanded immediate police intervention. But one thing I have to point out is how poorly the dispatcher handled it. Instead of quickly sending help, she wasted precious seconds asking unnecessary questions. In a case like this, every second matters. Thankfully, officers were already nearby and arrived within moments. But before we get into the footage, I need to say this. What you're about to see is one of the most heartbreaking and shocking body cam clips I've ever come across. It's extremely violent, and out of respect for the family, I won't be showing the full video without censorship.
What's up, hon?
And Amy just walked up to her and told her that her father is 9/11 and her mother.
Where at? Are they inside?
Possible complications of for health number. Simply, you have to advertise.
It's gonna be apartment. Hey! Show me your hands! Hey! Shoot! Get down! Get down! Get on the ground! 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 22 shots fired!
As the husband attempted to hurt the mother again, the officer fired, neutralizing the threat. Paramedics were called, and the husband, 37-year-old Robert Anthony Cruz, was taken to a hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. His condition was later reported as stable, though his legal situation remained serious. The woman, who suffered multiple stab wounds, was also rushed to the hospital and treated. Thankfully, she survived and was later released. But the most tragic part is that it all happened in front of their 5 children who were inside the home at the time. Honestly, thinking about this brings tears to my eyes. No one should ever have to witness something like that. Hopefully, the family can begin to heal from the emotional trauma soon. Child Protective Services was notified, and the children were placed in safe custody. As of now, there's no public update on whether Cruz survived, what charges were filed, or the outcome of any legal proceedings. Next, you'll see how a dangerous suspect pinned a man to the ground and was seconds away from taking his life until cops arrived.
Come on, you Tiffany!
On July 25th, 2023, a shocking incident unfolded when a suspect entered a strip mall and committed a horrifying act. LAPD dispatchers were quickly alerted after callers reported a man armed with a knife actively attacking someone on the ground. The suspect, later identified as 44-year-old Mavic Areola, had appeared out of nowhere, arguing with people in the parking lot before following someone into the strip mall. Inside, he began fighting with several individuals for no clear reason. Armed with a knife, he started injuring them badly. The fight lasted several moments, and with the weapon in hand, Areola easily overpowered them. But the violence didn't end there. As Areola stepped out of the mall, he started fighting another person, and that's when he seriously began harming him, clearly trying to take his life.
Just some guns right here. I'm already left there. Go on, please, I don't know anything I can tell you. Yes, I am not. Looking all the people. Listen, I will. Okay, well, perfect. Back. If they said there, why you snitching? My name is. Yeah, I knew it. We can put in your kids. Good way. My name is. No, come on, you Tiffany.
Areola clearly had no intention of stopping even after multiple pleas. He pinned the man to the ground for over 5 minutes and stabbed him several times. Officers arrived at the scene around 11:09 a.m., and what they saw was just as disturbing as the 911 reports. Even with police on scene, Areola showed no fear and continued hurting the man.
867, we're code 6. Make it a backup. Hey! Hey! Get away from him right now! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Get up! Drop it! Drop it! Drop the knife! Drop it now! Drop it! Get away from him now!
67, officer needs
Get
help.
away from him now! Stop!
Stop the knife!
Stop! Let him go! Let it go! Get away! Now! Listen to me! Stop! What's your name, Ray?
Hey! Drop the knife! Now!
That's enough! Get away! Stop!
As Areola tried to stab the man again, officers fired their duty weapons, striking the suspect and bringing the attack to an immediate end. Additional officers arrived quickly and provided medical aid, but Areola was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim had suffered multiple stab wounds but remained conscious. Emergency personnel treated him on scene and transported him to a nearby hospital, where he was listed in stable condition and is expected to survive. It remains unclear whether Areola and the victim knew each other or if the attack was random. Investigators are still working to determine the motive. Next up, you'll see how officers rescued an infant who was held hostage and shot by his father. On the morning of May 17, 2024, authorities in Surprise, Arizona responded to one of the most disturbing domestic violence incidents the community had ever seen. It began when 51-year-old Todd Marchetti, in a violent fit of rage, broke into his ex-partner's home and took her and their 6-month-old baby hostage. During the ordeal, the mother managed to escape and, with help from a nearby construction crew, called 911. Officers arrived quickly, but the baby was still trapped inside with a dangerous and unpredictable man.
How are you doing? Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Guys, hold on one sec. We're gonna move up. Let's go. Getting across the street. Marty, get back there.
Jerk, there's gonna be shots coming through the front door.
Be careful of crossfire.
Upon arrival, officers surrounded the house, but armed Marchetti began firing shots from inside. The situation quickly became extremely tense, especially after the woman reported that Marchetti had already shot and killed the family dog and was threatening the baby's life. Fearing for the infant's safety, officers made the decision to approach the house immediately, but they had no idea where inside the baby or the suspect was hiding.
Move on this. Move up. Alton. Sure, move on. I got this. Take that real quick. Move on in. Go back. Go short. Hey, somebody put that one corner. One for a corner. Carlton, close the corner if you need to. No. Are you with me? With you. Stop.
As officers searched the entire house, they found no one in sight. They were certain the suspect was still inside, but his exact location remained unknown. Their top priority now was finding the baby, who was also nowhere to be seen. After a long, tense search, officers finally heard the sound of an infant crying, and that's when the situation started to shift in a more hopeful direction.
Empty gun. We got the baby out.
Officers successfully rescued the baby, but what they found was heartbreaking. His name was Jackson, just 6 months old, and he had been shot 5 times by his own father. Yes, 5 times. He was in critical condition and rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. Meanwhile, Todd Marchetti was still inside the house, armed and refusing to surrender. Negotiators tried to make contact, but hours later the situation escalated again when a fire broke out inside the residence. Firefighters were called in, and once the flames were out, SWAT officers entered and found Marchetti dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. At the hospital, baby Jackson underwent surgery, and miraculously, he survived. For a grown adult, even one gunshot wound can be life-threatening. For a baby, it's unthinkable, but somehow he made it. His mother is also safe and recovering. Next up, you'll see how a man tried to stab someone, but luckily a cop was nearby to save the person just in time.
Hey! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
On October 28th, 2024, officers with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office were dispatched to Grotha Street in response to a reported carjacking. Officers Jay Rose and Jay Montgomery arrived at the scene and began speaking with the victim to gather key details. It seemed like a routine follow-up on a stolen vehicle, but as they were taking statements, a much deadlier situation started unfolding nearby, and those officers never expected they were about to witness such a violent encounter that night.
We just got to put a description on it and a value on it.
It didn't cost no more than $15.
$15. What color was the gold watch?
It's sterling.
Oh, silver? Sterling
Yes.
silver watch? Okay. Only cost about $15?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it big, small? Anything else?
Hey, yo, this man got a knife.
Hey! Drop the knife! 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 Shots fired, suspect down, send units.
As the suspect almost started to stab a person, both officers discharged their duty weapons in a coordinated effort to stop the attack. The suspect was struck by gunfire and collapsed at the scene. Officers moved in to secure the weapon and check for victims. Meanwhile, the victim was completely terrified by the incident and had no idea how close he came to dying just moments ago.
Here, sir, we need to check you. Here, let's take this weapon off.
Make sure you ain't stopped.
Bro, he was stabbing at you. I feel blood on you, bro. Where's that sweat? Here, get this off. Get your shit off, bro. Check him good. Check him good.
Okay, you was good, bro.
He was stabbing at your head, man.
He was trying to get you. Hello, you out of here.
Yeah.
Both lethal, one of us go hands on.
All right, check. Hey, don't go nowhere, bro. Okay. Yo, stay with him. We need to get medical on this guy.
I'll go hands on, but let's.
The victim was lucky the officers were nearby. Otherwise, it could have ended in a fatal encounter. Officers gave medical aid to the suspect, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Thankfully, the victim didn't suffer any stab wounds. Witnesses later identified the suspect as 54-year-old Dwan Jackson, who had a long criminal history. He had recently served a 5-year prison sentence and was released just 3 months earlier. In the past, Jackson had reportedly tried to harm others, and this time he targeted an adult male in a violent rage. Luckily, no one else was injured in the incident. Next, you'll see how a daughter tried to stab someone in front of her parents, but a hero cop stepped in just in time to save the victim. On April 20th, 2021, multiple 911 calls came into the Columbus Division of Police, reporting a violent altercation outside a foster home on Legion Lane. Callers frantically said someone was threatening to stab others, and one girl had already tried to attack people with a knife. Officer Nicholas Reardon was dispatched and arrived quickly, but had no idea just how violent things were about to get.
Hey! What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down!
No! You ain't shoot my baby! You shot me!
200 shots fired. 200 shots fired.
Move on. Are you stupid? Serious? She shot?
Back up.
And she shot?
She had a knife. She just went at her.
She's a kid, man. Damn, are you stupid? Kid?
The situation escalated within seconds as Officer Reardon stepped out of his vehicle. Makia Bryant, a 16-year-old girl, was seen lunging at another girl with a kitchen knife, and the officer responded by firing his weapon. Officers immediately began life-saving efforts, and Makia was taken to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Ironically, her father later complained that she was just a kid, though moments earlier, he himself had tried to attack another minor. The timing of the shooting was critical. If the officer had hesitated even for a second, the other girl could have been killed. Officer Reardon did what he had to do, but even so, the department faced heavy backlash. An investigation was launched, and in 2022, a grand jury declined to indict Officer Reardon. He remains employed with the Columbus Division of Police.